Welcome to Wildcat Channel 421. I'm Phoebe Ellis.
And I'm Stephanie Schneider.
I'm Andy Myers.
I'm Nate Belarja.
According to CBS News, the Air Asia Flight 8501 rescue teams have been battling monsoon rains this past week and have been slightly unsuccessful finding bodies left on a plane. However, on Friday, 21 corpses were found, and many of them were found by a U.S. Navy ship.
The Airbus A320, carrying 162 passengers and crew, went down on Sunday, halfway into a flight from Surabaya, Indonesia's second largest city, to Singapore. The pilot told air traffic control he was approaching threatening clouds, but he was denied permission to climb to a higher altitude because of heavy air traffic.
It's still unclear what caused the plane to plunge into the sea, but CBS News' Alan Pizzi reports that investigators are working on the principle that the pilots attempted a steep climb anyway to avoid this weather. This could have caused the jet's engines to stall.
This accident was AirAsia's first since it began its operation in 2001. In addition to looking for victims, Search and Rescue Agency Chief Henry Bambang Solistio said ships from Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and the U.S. are securing the ocean floor as they try to pinpoint wreckage. Now for an update on our neighbor state for the new year. According to WDay.com, Minnesota has put 7 new laws in place for 2015. There's Tony Kane's law, requiring that lifeguards be better trained to ensure the safest beaches possible. However, it still does not require a lifeguard to be present at all swimming areas. A change in the expungement law, where a judge can now permanently seal a person's criminal record. This law hopes to make it easier for past offenders to get jobs and become normalized once again into the community. Teen drivers will now be required to have 50 hours behind the wheel before they receive their license. Healthcare providers of every kind must not keep technology updated to ensure information is available and be made of use at any time. Some nurses will now be able to treat their patients without a doctor's permission. Anybody using the docks must now gain invasive species training and a decal to show the legitimacy of this training. And any new home more than 4,500 feet must now be built with built-in sprinkler system. Here's hoping all those Minnesotans have a happy new year with their new laws. Additionally, some positive feelings are coming towards us all the way from Kentucky. Kentucky.com says the total number of coal mining deaths in 2014 are a record low of 2. This record was almost beat by a low of 1 death until December 16th, when Eli Eldridge, an experienced coal miner, was hit by a low-profile mechanical vehicle used to move coal. Justin Mize, the other fatality, suffered getting hit by a rock. While the accidents are tragic, nobody has released the cause of them. There are 2 of 16 total mining deaths in the U.S. Hopefully, 2014 will beat that record. And now for our next story.
Thanks, Phoebe. Now for some international news. On Tuesday, Turkey's largest city, Istanbul, received a small suicide bombing at a police station. A woman carried out a suicide bombing at a police station in Istanbul's historic Sultanahmet district Tuesday evening, killing 1 police officer and injuring another, says CNN. In this part of Turkey, the area is heavily condensed with tourists. The female bomber entered the police station speaking English. He told them that her wallet was missing, and the bomb went off around 5:20 p.m. Unfortunately, the attacker's identity is still unknown, but what happened is still being investigated. For some more exciting news, the British actor featured in the Hobbit movies will be getting married to his boyfriend, 27-year-old Elliot Spencer, a stand-up comedian. CNN discovered that Stephen Fry plans to marry in Durham in the country of Norfolk, where he is from. Same-sex marriage was just recently becoming legal in England and Wales last March. Fry, being an advocate for the LGBTQIA+ community, is very excited about the gay wedding. In the UK, this is a huge leap for the community, and they're all looking forward to the big day.
This news report brought to you by Family Fresh. Meat and fruit are this week's hot button item over at Family Fresh on Main Street. A boneless beef roast is only $4.99 a pound. Ground beef is $3.99 a pound, and a boneless pork chops are only $2.49 a pound. Perfect for a winter barbecue for those brave enough to face the wind chill. Or if you'd rather pretend you're on a tropical island eating fresh fruit in the sun, feel free to crank up the thermostat and grab some navel oranges at Family Fresh for 77 cents a pound. So whatever your mood, head on over to Family Fresh.
Now to Andy for our sports news.
According to CNN, this Sunday, ESPN's veteran sportscaster Scott Stewart passed away after a prolonged battle with cancer at the age of 49. Scott used catchphrases and pop culture in his reports to keep his subjects alive as well as interesting. While he was not the first African-American sportscaster, he was a leader of the pack in more than one way. Scott died not only a sports hero but also a role model. Scott used his cancer as an opportunity to preach life lessons to old and young alike. When you die, that does not mean that you lose to cancer, Stewart said. You beat cancer by how you live, and why you live, and the manner in which you live. He certainly fulfilled this with the way he lived in the last 7 years of his life. President Obama summed up his life very well by saying, "Over the years, he entertained us. In the end, he inspired us with courage and love." And now on to some technology news. As reported by the New York Times, the International Consumers Electronics Show in Las Vegas produced many exciting announcements, including high-resolution TVs and better-looking and better home security technology, and even personal dry cleaning machines. One of the most exciting announcements made at this event was from the Mercedes-Benz chairman, who introduced the company's first fully autonomous prototype vehicle. The inside of this vehicle is luxurious with touchscreens and movable controls that will allow any passenger in the car to take control whenever they want. But don't get too excited over this new car, as it may take 3 to 5 years before this fancy automobile is rolled out. And now on to some political news. In state politics, Scott Walker begins his second term. Although Walker made his promises to lower taxes, he and his colleagues are now downplaying this option. He does, however, hold Wisconsin to very high standards and believes Washington should do the same thing, stating, "We get things done here in the Badger State." Walker also made a point of exemplifying good family values and unemployment rate. And now to Nate with our local and state news.
According to the Pioneer Press, last Saturday, the La Crosse police seized a batch of blue meth worth thousands of dollars. The blue color of meth became popular because of the TV series Breaking Bad, in which a former student and a chemistry teacher that is dying of cancer produces and sells high-quality meth. The police officer that showed up at the scene confiscated 2 small bricks of meth, blue-tinted meth. The meth weighed approximately 85 grams. They got the meth from Stephen McCurry, who had currently lived in an apartment 1133 South 4th Street. The investigators believe that the manufacturer that is dyeing the drugs as a trademark for the product. However, the dyeing of the drugs isn't more potent than any other regular stash of meth in the La Crosse area. For a gram of blue meth, the customer would have to pay $100 to $150. When McCurry got arrested, he had 13 grams on his personal self and a scale to weigh the meth. He also damaged the plexiglass divider in the squad car, escaped his cuffs, and assaulted the officers. McCurry, age 57, now faces the charges of possession of meth, intent to deliver meth, escape, resisting arrest, property damage, and possession of drug paraphernalia when he appeals in court. Now to the weather. According to the Star Tribune, the weather on last Wednesday promised to be the coldest day of the season yet for Wisconsin and Minnesota, with the wind chill readings closing school. No unnecessary travel was suggested in both Wisconsin and Minnesota for the fear of the wind chills causing frostbite. In 40 below weather, your skin could be frostbitten within 15 minutes. The National Weather Service says that if precautions are not taken, people could die from hypothermia. A wind chill warning from the National Weather Service kicked in at 2 a.m. Wednesday and lasted until morning. The weather agencies described this as a dangerously cold wind chill that was in all central and southern Minnesota and into western Wisconsin. The strongest northwest winds with a surge of Arctic air produced with wind chills values of 35 and 40 degrees below. The worst conditions was from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition of Wildcat Channel 421. Signing off, I'm Andy Myers.
I'm Nate Belargent.
I'm Stephanie Schneider.
And I'm Phoebe Ellis, signing off for Wildcats Channel 421.